Would you tell your partner if they'd lost their looks? In an article in the Times at the weekend, one woman has dared to say, "My husband used to be hot," and bravely asked the question, "If I met my partner now, would I still fancy them?" There they are. There's the couple. Oh, he is hot. So, has anybody here ever pondered that? Janet, let's start with you. You've had a few. You must have done.
Well, it's not so much that... I think it's about how the packaging changes. Because when... Because, you know, you love them for their brain, their sense of humour, and they're, you know, they are lovely people. But it's the packaging that goes horribly, horribly wrong. The stomach that blobs out from nowhere. The toenails you don't want to see on a daily basis. I've just made a little list of things that I... First of all, before I go into the list, I'm going to say it is a bit of a double standard because about 2 years ago, I said to my partner, "What do you think of my hair?" And he went, "The hairdresser's cut too much off." I just didn't speak to him first.
Well, that's what I mean. So it is kind of...
No, but basically my hair looked great. I just didn't believe...
Well, yeah, but he might... No, and also
I know, and
he
I'm
might
not
feel
interested because I'm right and he's wrong. So that's that discussion dealt with. So let me just list all the packaging that I think a lot of women watching today and the women in the audience will relate to. Beard. If you started off with no beard and suddenly you got a beard, you know, the stubble...
Yeah, but so did you.
Yes, but I'm dealing with it.
Yeah.
It's not visible.
No, I shave mine.
It's not Captain Pugwash. OK. Camouflage shorts all year round, as suitable for a 4-year-old toddler and a 60-year-old man. Flip-flops or Birkenstocks.
What, even in the summer?
No, winter ones. Track pants 7 days a week. I know, I'm sorry. Long fingernails.
Oh, yeah.
Moustache.
Yeah, but to be fair, it's kind of generalising, isn't it? So it's not really fair, because I bet if you got your partner of so many years to write down a list, he'd be able to list all those things equally.
A picture of me
and
now
then we'd
doesn't look that different to a picture of me 10 years ago.
No, but it's not just about looks, is it, really? It's about everything. If you've grown as a couple, there should be other things that you absolutely love about them, however much they've changed over the years. But I just think you both have to make an effort.
Yeah, women... Oh, sorry to interrupt, Joan, but I can't let her just... I just can't let her have the last word. All right, she's hosting the show, but why should she have the last word?
A little bit scared, Jane, if you can just take over.
New alarming statistics show that a growing number of women no longer feel safe at the gym because of persistent staring or inappropriate physical contact and intimidation by men. Now, apparently 2/3 of women say they've been harassed in the gym, and around another third of them claim that they would feel safer in women-only fitness spaces. Now, Kelly, we know you love the gym, you're very fit, you look after yourself, you've been to lots of types of gyms. Do you relate to any of those statistics?
Not personally, but I know many, many women that have. You know, it used to be called gym intimidation, where people were just embarrassed about going into the gyms and picking up weights for the first time and then being stared at because they think they don't look...
Or even what to wear. It was like, what do I wear?
Very much aware. But, yeah, I mean, there's actually many things... Social media is great now, isn't it, really, of identifying issues. And there was this... TikTok hashtag called Gym Weirdos, and there's an example of somebody on TikTok, a young person that went into a gym, and the gym was big enough, a lot of space to do their own thing, and she was doing deadlifts, which is the one where you... I'll just show you.
Stick your bottom out. Yeah.
Yes. Could look good, but this person then came up right behind her as she is doing the deadlifts. Intimidation,
just staring at her.
Unsafe, staring at her, and she left her session. Now, that is not right. Firstly, I'm not being funny, but people go to the gym for many reasons. You go for a social aspect, you go for your mental health, you go for body awareness, you go just to communicate, go with your mates. You do not go to the gym to be lectured over in a bad way. Now, of course, I love seeing male physiques in gyms. I think, like, loads of men are well sexy, to be honest. But, believe it or not, I'm not going to stay there groping or going too close to their personal space, you know. I might do weight training sessions.
Well, it's a level, isn't it? Because you know, people say, like, oh, is men perving over women? But I go, we must be careful we don't paint all men with the same brush that every man in a gym is a perv. Because you could be just on a treadmill glancing around the gym and your eyes, you know, and I would look at men and women. You know, you look at men and go, he's fit, or you look at women and say, gosh, I'd love a physique like her. What amazing legs.
I think it's to do with coming within your space.
It's the space.
And I think that when you go to most big, well-funded gyms, they've got people walking around, they've got security, they've got CCTV. But we've been talking about hotel gyms, for example, which can be, you might need a key to go into.
Yeah, I went in one this morning. I go to a hotel gym, it's just a room. There's no CCTV. I was on my own doing a session. There's a guy on a treadmill. No one would have known if there was either an injury happening or an altercation happening at all. So for that sake, absolutely, there should be more manned. There's 24/7 gyms now, which are great for people on shifts or finishing late, but they're not safe. You know, I've seen videos of women being tried to be abducted in gyms because no one is manning these gyms. And let's get it straight, that harassment is about sexual connotations, that's about verbal abuse, that's about complete intimidation. This isn't just looking at someone.
No.
And that's the difference.
For me, it's about being comfortable with who I am.
Woman, she the flame in the fire.
This year's International Women's Day.
I'm taking that power back because it's my gorgeous body.
Hello again. That was a sneak peek at our new Body Stories campaign featuring Judy, Carol, Sophie, Katie, Gloria and Dame Kelly. Now, this is the first time that those particular 6 women have taken part in our campaign. They got together for a special photo shoot to celebrate International Women's Day. And this next chapter of our campaign is all about celebrating everybody and embracing diversity and representation. And from our point of view, it's about time they got involved.
Yes, yes, Jane. And they got to wear lovely, like, tracksuits. We were there in our
swimming costumes.
Exactly.
No, they're all hanging out.
Oh,
yeah.
No makeup. No.
Yeah.
No, they look absolutely fantastic.
They do.
Great.
Yeah,
they
it's
really
gorgeous.
do. Oh, my. We didn't.
Yes. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Appreciate that so much. Well, it's,
you can take it down now.
It's International Women's Day next Wednesday, so we'll be talking more about that campaign.
Former Health Secretary Matt Hancock, remember him? He's reportedly considering legal action against the co-author of his pandemic diaries, Isabel Oakeshaw, after she released private WhatsApp messages, lots of them, between Matt and senior government ministers during COVID. I think more than 100,000 messages, which is absolutely incredible. This would never happen with you, Carol, of course, because we've got a WhatsApp message, a WhatsApp group at work, and you just never participate at all. You're not interested in any of us.
I didn't even know you were... Is she on it?
She is on it. She is on it. But we have all these messages, nice messages, lovely messages and
Words of
everything.
encouragement, happy birthdays.
Nothing.
Oh, it goes on and on and on, I'll tell you. No, I don't. I've muted quite a few chats. Don't take it personally, because I've muted quite a few chats.
But why?
I just haven't got time for
Why don't you just leave?
Well, I mean, if we're that boring, just leave it.
No, you're not boring. It's not. It's just that I'm not a very good groupie. Put it that way. I'm not very good at being in groups because I don't.
I mean, Janet just left.
Exactly, and I haven't got Janet's courage. I just haven't got... Because it's a real statement when you leave a group, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you just... Because it just says so-and-so left, and it looks really rude. So I just prefer to ignore it.
Because Brenda gets quite upset, don't you, Brenda, about the way she behaves?
Yeah, I mean, you could just warn us and say, you know, ease off of the chat a little bit, or I'll come out, threaten.
No, because I'm not going to tell you what to do. I just don't want to take part.
But if I didn't even know you were there, why don't you just leave?
Because you'll see that I've left because
and then what will
comes
happen?
up. I remember when Janet left and Denise was horrified. She was like, Janet left? Oh, my God!
But then you'll be thinking there's things going on that you don't know about, and then you're like, why didn't I know about that?
OK, well, maybe all right, maybe I'm guilty of spying.
I'm going to start checking. Has Carol read?
Yeah.
Just ignore.
And also, has Carol got another little WhatsApp group behind it? Because you know when you get a big WhatsApp group, you get splinter groups.
I'm not in
and
any
people go
splinter
behind,
groups.
and then you start. You know,
messaged me the other day.
Yeah, you are. I bet you are.
Why don't you just leave? Go
Yeah,
on.
but I message people personally. I
Yeah.
just don't like the whole group thing. And it's like when you email and you reply to all, and everybody has to see what everybody else is saying. It's like there's no need. There's no need for it. All right, I'll leave, shall I?
All right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
hang on. Hang on.
Oh.
Before you leave, do you just leave, or do you write a little message to everyone explaining why
Write
you're
a little
leaving?
message, and then we can see if anyone,
If
was
anyone's
really
thinking.
shocked you were there in the first.
Because none of the other.
Say, girls, I know you'll all be distraught, but I'm having to leave the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, go on, hammer up.
What a shame
Hammer
we can't
up
have this up
majorly.
there.
Go on.
Done it.
What have you said?
She's done it. She's
What-
left the
Did you-
loose women WhatsApp.
Oh, hang on. Come on.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is. Do you know, it's funny because recently I had to set up a separate WhatsApp group because I was getting some of the loose women to do something for your podcast. And it was only one question asked, can you do this? Anyway, Judy sent a message back, and then Judy said, I hope nobody minds, but I'm now leaving the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, wasn't that courageous?
Bye.
Christine
No,
was...
but Carol, you just said bye. You haven't actually exited.
Has she not?
She just said bye. She's still here.
Everyone's going to think you've lost your mind.
Carol.
Oh, let's see.
Ollie's like, bye.
You've actually got to take
No,
yourself.
I have left. No, it says you can't send messages to this group because you're no longer a participant, so I have left.
Well, it didn't say you've left the group.
Hang on a minute. Christine
So I
is
could have
typing.
left.
Hang on,
ages
Christine's
ago.
typing.
Christine's
Christine's typing.
I'm watching you right now. We'll miss you.
Christine, don't.
Yeah, because she's been the vital pumping
I know.
part of this group.
That is hilarious.
He has.
But I know what you mean, though. I
Matt
don't mean
Hancock's
when there's lots
typing
of-
too. He's
Oh.
leaving as well. Good move, Matt. Good move. Sorry, Brenda.
I know what you mean, though, because I'm in this group that was started in the pandemic. I joined a group that my friend started for bingo to, include me. And his family are lovely. I love them all, the Derbyshires. But there's 724 unread messages on this WhatsApp group.
What?
And I'm like, I don't want to... Because I've got to go through all of them if I do that and then reply to every single... It's a
Where's
lot
your
of
phone?
effort.
You've got to leave as well. Sorry, Derbyshires. Leave them, Brenda.
I can't do it. I can't. They're lovely,
Started
but
something.
it's... Yeah.
Who
Mute.
just tells the whole world that you don't receive your
No, I did tell them. I did say to them, this is way too much for me.
So funny.
I can't.
All right, we're talking tattoos now, with more and more people recognising the mental health benefits of getting them, including enhancing self-esteem and self-confidence, should they be available on the NHS. And before we get into the discussion, Soph, what many of our viewers won't know is you're a huge fan of tattoos, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got loads. I love them. It took me a while to get into it. Actually, I got my first one up when I was 18 with my friends. That was just a silly one, some little dots on our hands. Then I got one with my mum when I was 21, and it was for my 21st birthday. And then I thought, right, I really want to get one. So I've got a scar down the middle of my spine where my back was broken and they put metal rods into my spine. And it's quite a thin scar, but quite a big one. And I thought I'd like to sort of do something with it, maybe decorate it or reclaim it almost. And so I spent about almost 10 years drawing, perfecting, working out what I wanted, drawing it myself, rubbing it out, starting it again. And then on the 10-year anniversary, I went and got the first tattoo, which is all around my spine, and it's really, really...
Yeah, we can see
Oh, yeah, that's the middle.
Oh, wow.
And then I went a bit bonkers, and I was like, okay, I just want to keep going. So I got underneath the scar, underneath the circular one, which is around the scar, I then got another one, which is a big mermaid. Oh, there you go.
Wow.
So that goes down the back. But you see, my level of my injury
that's
is
gorgeous.
across, it just goes, it's hard to explain, but it's sort of just beneath that top circular one is the level of my injury.
Have a look. So here, hang on.
Yeah, that. So up,
just
up,
below
up,
there.
Up there.
There.
From there down, I can't feel anything.
Okay.
So I couldn't feel it. So I was like, go for it. Do you know what I mean? And then so the tattoo artist just did all of that. And then I was like, oh, I want another one. So I got some more on my leg. I went down around the side. I got a big Frida Kahlo, who's my favourite painter. I got her on my leg. But they all tell a story. And now they're like a journal. They can tell you so much. I because I don't feel so kind of like precious about it, that first one took me so long to get it right. Now I'm like, oh, it's fine. So even the other day I was on holiday and I'd had an amazing experience by myself, and I got my little tattoo on my leg by myself, it says. And I'm going to get more and more and more. But I'm reflecting on this subject about whether it should be something that the NHS provide. I wouldn't say that I agree that the NHS should provide it necessarily, but I do think that you should recognise the mental health benefits, because certainly for someone like me who I'm paralysed from here down, and I can't do anything with my body in the sense that I can't perfect it. I can't work out and tone it. I can't really do much with it. So I kind of decorate it. And I feel it's like art. And I love looking at the flowers on my legs. And, you know, it's a way of kind of falling back in love with your body again once it's changed. And I know that's the same for people who've had... Well, you've got your own version,
Well, yeah,
your own story.
when I had my mastectomy, the first thing that I thought in my head, I want to get a tattoo of my areola so that I felt like it was normal, or, you know, I was hiding what had happened to me. And I haven't had it done yet, but I did, the NHS, they did offer the service, and 3 times I went through the process and it's never taken.
What do you mean it's never taken?
The tattoo's just rubbed off. It's just, you know, because I think it's a different ink that's used. So in order to, it's a specialist ink that you have to use if you're having it on your breast.
And do you think that will change? Is there anything about yourself you think that would change emotionally if you had it done?
I think, well, it's been like 4 or 5 years now, so I'm kind of getting used to it, but I was so adamant that I wanted it. I wanted to... And I keep saying I want to get a butterfly because it's a new lease of life, and, you know, and myself and Tanisha, when I lost my hair, she shaved off her hair to match, and we were going to get tattoos to match and just empower each other. Yeah.
It's really special. Me and my mum did it, and it brings you together.
Yeah.
I don't know. There are problems with people that do kind of do them with couples, and I think that, you know, getting a tattoo with someone you don't really know in your life, you're careful. But your daughter and your mother, it's so nice.
But again, I was always raised to say, do not get tattooed because it's like you're defacing your skin for some bad reason.
It's given me a completely different perspective on tattoos, to be honest. And I think listening to your story and yours, I completely and utterly get that. Yeah. Especially when, you know, when you said I can't work out, I can't make changes, so I decorate. My mum always brought me up to hate tattoos. You know how you get to a certain age and think, well, hang on, do I a minute? Or is that just because my mum and dad? Yeah. And I think it used to be, you know, people used to associate it with the Navy, or, you know, you wouldn't be accepted if you had tattoos. My younger son's an actor. I have said, you're going to get the tattoos. Please don't have them. This is from a practical reason, because makeup artists have to spend a long time covering up actors' tattoos and stuff, practically. My eldest son is a rock star, so he kept his... Because I said, I don't want you to have tattoos back in the day. And I wondered when he was 18 why he'd been wearing a cardigan for 3 months. And eventually realised he'd been hiding them up his ass. And now he's got loads. And now, in celebration of my mum, who hated tattoos when she died, he had Annie in a great big one. Of course, she would have loved that. I think that also working in the mental health world for as long as I have, because of my, you know, being a sort of ambassador since my own problems, I've also met a lot of people who, when they become very down, they have to be careful because it's like an addiction. You know, not in a self-harm.
Tattoos are addiction.
Tattoos are an addiction that they reach out for in times of desperation as well, and sometimes they've regretted it. I think with what you're doing and making a conscious decision to tell a story is absolutely beautiful.
And that's a wonderful thing. I think people can sniff and turn their nose up at tattoos, but each tattoo and each body that has a tattoo tells an incredible story.
Yeah.
Do you have stories? I don't have any, because I would have to be very mindful of work and stuff like that in terms of have tattoos. But I like listening to your story and looking at them today on your back. It's just beautiful to listen to stories to me.
Yeah.